Welcome back to 10 Cents Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Burrell, and I'm sitting in the King of Motorsports studio, and across from me is my co-host, Adam Nielsen. And this week we have a special guest from Paw Patrol. It's Jadam Abaay.
What's up, guys?
It's Chase the police dog.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea what that is. It's a dog.
It's Chase the police dog.
It's actually a pretty entertaining cartoon at 6 a.m. when you want to be sleeping, but your daughter wants to be watching cartoons.
It's not nearly as good as Bluey, which I think came out a little too late for Mr.
Bluey?
Abaay to have listened to it or watched it.
I don't know what Bluey is.
Bluey is great, dude.
What was it about?
It's a little
like
dog.
Saturday night activity.
That's totally different.
That's a Bluey.
Well, it's a Bluey when you're married.
Yeah, because it's happened in the past.
That's a lack of.
Yeah.
When you're blue balling. No, it's like about this little Australian dog,
Okay.
and I don't know. It's just
It's a dog that goes on adventures.
he just does things, but it's like I don't know. I like it better for some reason. It's oddly enthralling.
I watched most of Emperor's New Groove the other day, but I fell asleep.
I'm sorry.
It was great.
It's not like my favorite.
I didn't say it was my favorite. It's good.
I mean, I guess
It's funny.
we're gonna talk about like
Kids shows, I don't care.
B-level Disney movies. Is
Yes.
that what we're doing?
The B levels are the best ones.
I mean,
Anything with a-
oftentimes, yes.
Yeah,
the
anything-
best Lion King is Lion King 1.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's great. I fucking love it.
Half.
Huh? It's Timon and Pumbaa's side of the story, and they're my
Seems
favorite.
like a terrible Lion King.
Dude, it's the best.
I'm drinking decaf coffee, so we better
What?
change up this topic. I'll fall asleep.
Why?
You
Who
are
does
old.
that?
Well, I got to go to sleep, man. So,
Yeah,
like,
but then don't
I'll
drink coffee.
Well, I'm trying not to drink whiskey, so
So
like,
drink
it's
water or something.
decaf coffee or it's whiskey. I am going to go get a LaCroix boy real quick.
Oh
Because,
God,
this thing ain't going to hold out. Hold, please.
he's got to get
Talk amongst yourself.
a pamplemousse or whatever they are.
Who knows?
You know what?
I like the lime, but like not LaCroix.
Oh,
I like all the other stuff.
I can't do any of it.
I can drink all of it.
I just want water. When I'm drinking water, I just want water. I don't
Yeah.
need it to bubble or whisper.
You need it to bubble.
Whisper things in my ear
You
about
kinda-
its flavor.
You kind of do.
I don't though,
you
Robbie. I
kinda-
just want water.
Yeah, your pamplemousse.
Dude, there's a better version of LaCroix. I don't know if you've ever had it. It's Polar.
Polar?
Best.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of
Yeah,
that either.
It's maybe the best sparkling water of all time.
Does it actually?
You
taste
probably even like it.
Does it taste like something?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't. It's not like a hint of. It's like an actual taste. It's great, and it's super, super bubbly.
I'm not going to take your word for it. I'm just going to continue assuming I don't like it and not drinking it.
Well, Abe thinks
On
it's
brand.
spectacular. He's a man.
Yeah, but
of leisure.
Abe is too bougie for me these days.
He's a man of leisure.
Abe is
know.
almost borderline mean to you.
He is.
Let's talk about it.
I'm his boss, and then he's sort of my boss for the podcast.
he's kind of mean to you.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yeah,
Have you-
for sure.
haven't
Because
you-
he'll like tell you that like you're a terrible mechanic, and I'm like, that's not.
I'm actually.
That's not at all
pretty good.
true. That's what I always like. I'm always yelling at my radio. Like, that's not true, Abe.
I yelled at that when I was mowing the lawn the other day.
Yeah.
I said the same thing.
The weird thing about Abe is like he's used to like working on things that are like a bolt-on car or like new, and like my car is not either one of those things. My car is I welded that, I cut the frame, like I did, like it's a custom everything,
Right.
and I also like when I bring it to the track, it's pretty tested, and then it's very custom.
Things break,
when it
man.
breaks.
Well, and then like
things
the
break.
bus, I mean, it's a.
I'm an excellent bus mechanic.
But he's always like, oh well, he almost died in Texas, so you're a terrible mechanic. Like, no, because if it would have been you, that would have cost you thousands of dollars in a tow bill.
Cost me $410 for a new Bendix air dryer.
Yeah.
and I think it was three $15 air governors, like $12 in PTFE and fittings, like tape and fittings. And I learned a heck of a lot on that trip. The worst part of that trip actually was the end of the trip when the throttle cable snapped at like 3/4 stuck.
Well, he doesn't seem to understand.
He wasn't in the bus then. We had just dropped him off, and I got on the highway, and I was like, "Oh, the gas pedal feels different." And and then we proceeded to drive for like 3 hours at virtually wide open throttle.
So you're only what, 65?
No, it would just creep all the way up to red line slowly. And red line meaning it's a mechanically governed engine, so it's not actually red line. It's just like that's as far as it can go, and so it's like 2,200 RPMs, and that's like 76 miles an hour.
That's so ridiculous. 2,200 RPM. That's so crazy.
Yeah, and those engines in polar trucks or sled polar trucks or whatever, they'll put them up to like 4,000. They can scream. So
that's not screaming.
It does not. Dude, it just not screaming for a diesel.
I guess.
Diesel that was designed in like 79, but
I guess.
Yeah, it's a straight six. Straight sixes are balanced. So when it bangs the rev limiter, it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like so smooth and uneventful sounding. It's like a pleasant rev limiter.
It's not popping and banging and carrying on.
No,
it's not like
ain't no popping.
It's no fun for two-step at 2.
No. I mean, it would sound kind of cool, but it doesn't. It actually does kind of sound like a two-step because it's just like boom, boom, boom. There's no fire, no flames, nothing on, nothing.
Well, I mean, it is a diesel.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm hiding my face because of a different identity, and yeah, we're gonna talk about some things, talk some shit. I think
I love it.
This is what you guys want to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're here for you.
Yep, this is your show.
Well, first off, my friends that do a wonderful podcast called Slip Angle Podcast. This friend of mine, Adam, and this friend of mine, Abe, they do this wonderful podcast. And I think we share a website, tracktune.com, with you guys, track walking, and maybe more in the future. But those brilliant fellows, handsome too, they started a forum, forum.tracktune.com. And it's been kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a couple days old. There's a ton of build threads already. And it's growing. There's new threads every day, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. You guys should join.
We probably should, but I absolutely have not.
There's 17 build threads. There's 2 for sale posts already.
Oh, nice.
Dewey's selling a time attack car.
It's his wife's car, it looks like.
Travel and towing, prep and maintenance. Oh, that's where you want to go if you don't want to be a bad mechanic. Tracking and getting faster. There's 4 posts there.
So it's a couple days old, and it's turning into a thing. I'm excited about it. So
I'm so I couldn't be more happy that you're bringing forums back.
Well, it's not like all forums went away, but the ones that stayed, they were like really niche and
except for GRM. That one's pretty broad.
GRM's it's a pretty great forum. It really is.
Yeah, it is. But it's also pretty broad.
It's very broad, and it's a lot. It's not really niche, but it's definitely not cliquey, but it's
a specific
very
community.
Like some of those people have been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
They've been on the same forum for 20 years.
I bet they have crazy post count numbers, some of those people.
On Road Race Autocross, the forum that shall not be named, that we're not supposed to name, but I just named it. I think I got 12,000 posts on that stupid forum.
Is that still alive?
Oh yeah, it's pretty active too. There's dudes 35, 40,000 posts on that forum.
That's crazy.
Since I was on Zilvia when I had the 240, I never joined any of the 350Z ones because everything was basically dead at that point. I'm looking at old threads.
I have a build thread on one of the Turbo Dodge Omni web or forums, and
is that still around, that kind of stuff?
There's 2 or 3 of them actually. I don't remember which one.
The older the car,
for sure,
the more the forum actually might still exist.
For sure, yeah. I just remember going to VW Vortex and that being an absolute cesspool of terrible human beings. aka Volkswagen owners.
You don't say.
My roommate was on that. Yeah.
And it was terrible. And I used to be on a couple of stereo forums. That was a big thing for me in like college.
Car stereo.
Yep, that's where I met Chaz.
Oh, yeah.
Was in a car stereo forum.
No shit.
Yeah.
Then he became your roommate.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I've done a lot of forum things, but I've always been a lurker.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I went back to Honda Tech yesterday to like look for an old thread, and the forums got like changed over to a couple different. You know, it's moved hosts a couple times, but they've like always brought the old threads with it.
Yeah.
But now it's just like a sea of pop-ups. You like go on it and like it's just pop-up after pop. It's terrible
Because they're trying to make ad revenue on it.
Yeah, they sold it to whatever the big one that bought all the car forums was like 10 years ago. And it used to be so clean and it had great logo and stuff, and like it was easy to search everything. And I don't know, now it sucks. and like nobody goes there.
Yeah. I mean, no surprise. I mean, back in the day when forums were free and everyone was helpful on there. I want to know who's going to be the first person on forum.tracktune.com to use the phrase "use the search button."
Noob.
It's probably gonna be Abe.
Did you read the stickies? We've already talked about this. Don't bring posts back from the dead.
Sticky yet. I can't wait to have enough for a sticky. It's gonna be great. But realistically, we're hoping to let this thing build for like literally years. We're not anticipating lighting the world on fire, but I figure if we talk about it on a bunch of podcasts, we'll get like a pretty like-minded community there too. All into the same things.
It's gonna be full of a bunch of 350Z guys.
That'd be the worst.
I know, right?
Nothing worse than a bunch of Z boys.
Ugh.
So far, it's like Miata guys and me, and Dewey's there too.
Yeah. Well, Dewey's everywhere.
He's right in the middle of the country now. He's got access to everywhere. Short 6-hour drive from everything.
And he still hasn't made it to any event.
I don't think he hasn't been to anything this year.
Not yet. He claims, I saw on Facebook, that he's going to be at Rev Up.
Okay, cool.
Which I still think is going to be, if you're going to set a track record at Gingerman, it's going to be at Rev Up, not at Festival. I'm sorry, Gervais, I said it.
No, it's fine. We got 100 Time Attack cars coming for Rev Up.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
And I think we have 105 for Midwest right now. Somehow we let 5 too many in. I'm not sure why.
That's insane.
I looked at the stats yesterday and I was like, why do we have 105? We're supposed to have 100. But yeah, 105.
Those are
a lot
sponsored
of cars.
cars. They'll do 1 or 2 laps and then that'll be it. It's fun.
That might actually be it, where a couple of vendors request a car, sponsors request a car, and they get an extra pass afterwards. But
yeah.
Most of the time, like you said, they don't do anything with those passes. So,
yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the new Time Attack format? Have either of you watched the live streams at all?
I watched a little bit of it at CMP. I didn't watch any at Watkins Glen.
I watched some of Watkins Glen. I watched all of GLTC, obviously.
I didn't watch anything.
I have a vested interest.
I didn't watch anything at Watkins Glen at all.
That place is terrifying.
I believe that.
It's pretty cool too, but it's wild.
But yeah, no, I did not watch enough of the Time Attack format to be able to speak to it, to have any sort of opinions on it.
I loved the finals at CMP at Watkins Glen. It was such a long track and it was in the rain, so like times were all over the place. So that wasn't as fun.
Yep.
Right.
But overall, I think it's actually presenting pretty well. So
I guess
people enjoy it.
So there was some, like I saw some people post on like Track Midwest, like trying to clarify. It's like, I guess what is the format for anyone that's somewhat new that might want to jump in and be like, what's happening?
So this is only at festival rounds for like the 6 festival rounds that are streamed. I think it's 6. I don't remember.
Does that count Road America?
No, Road America is different.
Okay.
We're working on the stream plan for that. We can't obviously with only 2 run groups of cars, we can't afford to bring in a $70,000 live stream.
I assume that's just going to be a regular Time Attack.
Yeah, it'll be traditional style Time Attack, okay. And only 1 run group of Time Attack, and obviously GLTC. So,
right.
But yeah, the new format is basically a couple of practices, which are traditional time attack. Basically, go out and gridded fastest to slowest, and then qualifying. I think we have 3 qualifyings, 3 maybe, and those are just like regular time attack, except for we're trying to do them by class, and a couple of the 2 smallest will get paired, and it's 5 run groups instead of 4. Usually, the 2 smallest will get paired up, and like Unlimited and Track Mod will be paired up because they're smaller. But a little bit more class specific, so it's easier for announcers to follow it, talk about individual classes and describe how they actually work and stuff. And then the finals is the top 5 of every class. Starts with Sunday Cup, and Sunday Cup they all go out at the same time, and it's a knockout style qualifying. And at CMP, they swore the track swore they could do it, and I was like, I don't think it's going to work. They started black flagging the slowest car, and then they mixed up 2 silver fits and screwed it up, so that wasn't any fun.
Yep.
And now we reverted just to timing and scoring, knocking the times out. So everybody runs like 4 laps, and the last or 5 laps, and the last person wins. So the last time standing is of the fastest car. And then after that, it's slowest to fastest, like P5 up to P1 in every class. One at a time, they go out, warm up, flyer, and then come on in. And the hardest part with that is to just make sure that we get timing and stagger right to where nobody's really impeded. And we can get lots of camera time on each car, which is pretty cool.
It is cool.
And it works really well at like a minute 30 to minute 50 track. Like a 2.5 minute track, it was hard, especially in the pouring rain, and it was so wet during most of it that I was literally standing in the flag basket doing the green and checker. And I'm talking to timing in my ear, timing and myself, we could barely see which car was coming because there was so much water spray. It was just, and it was so cold, especially in the flag basket, like the wind would howl down the front straight. And I'm totally drenched to the bone. And it was so cold, my brain stopped working like halfway through. Like I couldn't think anymore. So I just gave, I'm like, Gary, timing, Abe, you need to tell me what to do. I can't think anymore. Like I literally couldn't follow what was happening.
The more I hear about Watkins Glen, the less upset I am that I missed it.
Yeah, it sounds not cold. Super great.
Thursday night was so fun. It was beautiful out. It was like 75 degrees. We had I brought a giant tent for the dyno because I knew it was going to be raining, and I wanted the dyno to be able to like make some money and like be a tool for people. So I brought a big tent for it and set that up. And we put a bunch of party lights in it. We were dynoing cars till 11 o'clock. The place was packing out. Like all the paddocks were pretty full. It was doing pretty well. I mean, obviously you can put 100,000 people at that place, so it's never going to look full. Inside, you can put 100,000 people. I think you can put 300,000 people in the whole facility. This is ridiculous.
Jesus
like inside and out.
I don't even want that.
It's so big, dude. There's got to be 100 buildings with roofs on them. Like you stand up in the flag stand or go to the top of the timing tower, which is at the top of the bleachers on the front straight, like 6 stories up. And you just look around and you're like, there's like 75 or 100 buildings in this track. It's so big.
That's
it's
crazy.
Just ridiculously big. But yeah, Thursday night was beautiful. Friday morning was like pretty nice. And then Friday about midday just started, it didn't rain that hard, but it just rained and spit and rained and spit on Friday. And then Saturday, it just like progressively rained harder and harder all day. Not like big buckets of rain, but just, it's like you're in a cloud and you're just always getting wet. The track was pretty soaked at times. And then Sunday, it just never stopped raining. It rained and rained and rained and rained the whole damn day. So it was just wet. But everybody drove really well considering. The racetrack, the flaggers, they were like, wow, you guys did really good. You wrecked a lot less cars than insert enemy sanctioning body. And they were in the dry. And I was like, oh, cool.
I believe that.
The enemy sanctioning body is not SCCA. So.
Yeah, you do the math. It's not the SCCA. You do the math.
Well, I don't hate them. They just, National Office hates me. I don't know why. I never did anything.
Because you're taking away all their fun.
I did something on
Because
accident.
you're doing something right. I don't know.
Yeah, I did something on accident, and their lawyers, and they found it. And that was a long time ago.
Because your festival works better than theirs.
I don't know. Poor E-Man. Dude, E-Man like making me feel bad in that comment.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I tried to go find that post and I couldn't. So
Weird.
Yeah. So
Comments are turned off.
I don't know. Like that picture of a different sanctioning body posted a picture and said featured driver, and then our buddy E-Man posted I don't know how many comments are already on there, maybe none.
Probably.
And then E-Man commented, "You will never be grid life."
Ouch. What a jerk. Like I wanted to message him and say, dude, don't say that. Just be nice. Just be nice. You're going to be mean to me.
It's okay. He's anonymous. I mean, they don't know specifically that.
That's true. It's not me.
Yeah, you didn't post it.
So
Yeah, I just want everybody to be friends. They're, like the local regions of that sanctioning body are great. We've worked with them on other stuff.
Oh yeah,
Man, national office can suck a duck.
yeah.
Anyway,
So the format.
So,
back to the original comment.
yeah. So wet Watkins Glen, dude. Oof, it was so wet. And I mean, we still had like a couple thousand spectators, which was cool.
Did you? That was kind of the one thing, because I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff, and you can never tell. And like you said, the place is huge, so it always looks empty.
And they were all just like standing in the arcade and like milling about. We had a video wall next to the arcade. The arcade was in the big, huge garages,
right?
And it was probably only 500 at a time, because it was just a shitty weekend, So, but I drove it on Sunday in the Hyundai Elantra N that was generously lent to us for the season by Hyundai, which is bizarre. It's a bizarre thing that they did that, but
it's not that bizarre.
Dude, it's a rad car. It's fast. It makes like 270 or something.
I like the N line stuff.
And the interior's awesome.
I mean, I would prefer a Veloster over an Elantra. But
it's a great dad mobile, and Chris has 2 kids, and he's going to daily it for a while, I think. So
it makes sense for a dad mobile. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and it's fast. It is fast. Like I was stunned with how fast it was. The brakes are sick, even in the wet. Never really felt any lockup to ABS. Like you couldn't really even feel the intrusion of the ABS. I was probably only going like 0.6 maybe, but
are they good on track out of the box? Like they don't overheat. They stay. I mean, I realize you weren't using it in the right situation, but obviously the brakes are shitty, but like the car itself.
I think so. They were hot lapping them with only brake pads at Midwest Festival last year. The Hyundai, we had the big Hyundai tent, the Brian Herta Autosport Hyundai tent there. They had 2 factory ones, and then they had a TCR car, and they were given a lot of ride-alongs. They would do like 5 or 6 laps, come on in. So. I don't think they had any issues with them. I think they were swapping brake pads at night, or I think they swapped them at least one time, but they said they're pretty solid. So this thing didn't give me, I mean, it was wet, so heat is not cold. It was cold, but heat isn't the problem when it's wet and cold in New York, but it was really fun to drive. I was stunned by how fun the track was, even in the wet. So I could see why, so one of my goals for every event is for at the end of the event to somebody to come up and say, dude, I had the best time. Thank you so much. And not that I want to be thanked, but I want them to have the best time. I don't care about them thanking me. I care that they actually had that, and it was good enough experience that when they saw me, they wanted to say it. Right.
Right.
And so I like Saturday, I'm like, dude, nobody's going to have the best time. And like 10 people came up to me and they're like, dude, crappy weather. Best time, loved it. And I was like, what event were you at? But
I mean, you can't control the weather, and I think most people take that they understand that, but like you can still have a shitty event when it's nice out and a great event when it's not.
Like PPR last year. Weather was terrible.
Weather sucked.
Still had a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a pretty good time, actually. I didn't enjoy some things that my team was having to deal with at PPR last year, but I kind of liked PPR. So
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would like to go back to PPIR. I'll say it here. So
I enjoyed that one more than I enjoyed Lime Rock, so I apparently am like in the minority, and I don't look back fondly on Lime Rock.
You were half asleep, and then I put the dyno in the wrong spot, and you were half asleep the whole time.
I did sleep on the dyno. There is video or photographic evidence of that. But like PPIR, I got done with a 30-hour work shift, slept for an hour and a half, and then got back up to fly to Colorado.
And then you felt awful the whole time you were there.
And I felt awful the whole time I was there.
What? Why did you feel awful? I don't remember.
Because I got sick. It was so cold.
It was pretty cold.
It was so cold, and it was wet, and I got sick, and I never really caught up on sleep. And,
yeah, that'll make you feel off.
Oh, I just felt like garbage.
I don't remember a whole lot about that except for almost getting hit by a drift car out on Drift Grid.
I woke up on Saturday morning. Yeah, Saturday morning, and had like the worst sore throat and could barely talk. And then Kyle walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, do you think you could tag in?" I'm like, "Oh, no. No.
On the live stream.
Not really." Yeah. He's like, "Hey, man, we're a little short on help. Would you be able to do?" I was like, "Not really. No, like I can barely talk."
I would love to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I felt terrible about that.
No.
But
former international voice of Silent Attack.
Yeah, I made it to about 3/4 of the way through Take It Back Sunday. Then I was over it. I was over the whole event. I was
really
over
appreciated
all the people, and I was so cold.
I enjoyed finally having a band that not only had I actually heard of, but also enjoyed. Yeah. I don't think like very many other people were all that jazzed about it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude, it was just so cold then.
Yeah,
by the time
it was really cold.
Like it was okay during the day.
Yep.
But like at 10 o'clock at night, it was like 45 degrees.
Yeah, and raining.
Yep, and windy and cold.
Yeah. It was that weather. That weather cost us a lot of money too.
I
would imagine it did at Watkins Glen as well.
Yeah, it didn't help. Walk-up ticket sales were always really strong at PPIR. Like big time strong. Like you had to count them into the budget, or the event didn't make sense, kind of thing. Like walk-ups were, I think, every year except for last year, walk-ups were more than I paid for my house.
Wow.
So like a lot of people would walk up, right? And you're like, all right, we're going to get that. We got to count on it, and we got to hope for it. And we just didn't get it. It was just cold and wet. But yeah, that wasn't a fun one.
Yeah.
I do love that facility. Like the pavement's a little folly a party. That's kind of half of the reason that we're not going back right now, is because every morning I would have to drive out with a gator or a golf cart or my bike and like just throw big chunks of the track off of the track, like big snowball sized chunks that could like go through someone's windshield and kill someone. So that's part of the reason. It was every 4 years. Like sometimes you got to move a festival, sometimes you don't. So, but yeah, fun place to operate though. It's cool when you go to a track and they're just like, all right, here's the keys to everything. Have fun. Like that's my favorite.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you're kind of.
And Watkins Glen was largely like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to get to that point kind of with where you're at with
people
grid life.
Kind of just trust that you have a formula and let you do it.
Watkins Glen was great to deal with actually, and except for one person who may or may not be the president, it was a great staff to deal with. So I can only speak in hypotheticals about this potential scenario.
Hypothetically speaking, how would this hypothetical situation
if it were to go really badly, what do you think might have happened?
Oh yeah, man. If something really annoying were to happen, it might go something like this. But so we show up and we're like, man, everything's going according to plan, hypothetically, in this hypothetical situation. And the plan with this staff of this racetrack in this imaginary scenario was technically not going to be a spectator event. It was going to be pre-purchased guest passes because a spectator event, I guess, hypothetically at this track would be 5,000 people or more, and we weren't going to get to that in our first year. So we're like, in this hypothetical situation, let's just make it a closed event.
Oh no, did we lose him?
Oh no. We lost him.
Son of a bitch.
He's froze.
30 minutes on the dot.
Of course it was.
And we're back.
Whoops.
Yeah, so Adam Abaay, Jadam
Jadam
Abaay, hypothetically speaking, got to about 30 minutes into a podcast and just dipped.
The
Yeah.
slip dangle way.
Yep. So,
It might be my internet. I'm not sure.
yeah, you straight up froze.
What was I talking about?
You were hypothetically speaking about having.
So did you.
Yeah, you said it was hypothetically supposed to be a spectator only event, or no, a closed event, no
yes.
spectators. That's where we left off.
Yeah. And then, so we were going through in this hypothetical dream scenario. We were going through all the steps that the track had requested that we go through, right? And we told them exactly what to expect in this scenario, this fake scenario that didn't happen. And the highest up person at the racetrack might have came in this dream scenario to the racetrack and said, they owe me $30,000 because we're not getting any rev share. And that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah, especially when you already paid him $100.
What the,
Yeah, so that was fun. In this dream scenario, that was fun.
what the hell? 100? My God.
It costs, 3 days. It costs a lot of money a day, and add that up, and that's about that. So,
I don't know how you guys do this.
So the first,
Hypothetically.
I don't know
part
how
of
a
Friday,
person would do this if this were real.
in a hypothetical situation, that would be very annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Hypothetically expensive.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So hypothetically speaking, so we're clear on what happened. This group shows up, pays $100K to be there, and then
Does everything that they're asked.
highest ranking person there comes in and says, "You owe me 30% more."
Yeah.
Essentially,
Because that was the estimated rev split on the estimated people at this hypothetical event that they would have gotten extra, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. The math doesn't seem to work out in my head.
I feel like you didn't have that many people.
There was enough people there where,
Okay.
it kind of depends on what the rev share is.
I guess.
And so in this fake scenario that didn't happen, we negotiated down a little bit, and then we were basically held over the hypothetical barrel and extorted. So that was fun.
so you, hypothetically, it was not a spectator event anyway, so you couldn't have gone and sold tickets to make up for that money. Hypothetically.
Well, we sold guest passes in this dream scenario. Guest passes, which is their guest of Grid Life. They had to be called something else. This is all per our instructions from the people at this racetrack that doesn't exist. So, in this hypothetical scenario, it's really fun to be a track business. It's really fun, guys.
No, it doesn't sound fun.
Running a business in general just sounds awful.
It's not the best.
No matter what business it is.
Yeah, in this scenario that definitely didn't happen. I don't know if we're being clear about that. But,
Right.
Hypothetically speaking.
yeah, hypothetically speaking, I wanted to go home on Friday morning. and then as soon as like my stress level in this scenario that didn't happen came down a little bit, along with the rest of my team, because we're just like, well, we talked to the lawyer, we're held over a barrel. The contract gives them pretty much anything that they want. It's not worth fighting for, because they wanted to shut the event down in this hypothetical scenario and tell everybody to go home.
Ooh.
And we had, in this scenario, I think 40 or more drivers drive over 20 hours to be there. So it's a lot of distance
we would have been
traveled
one of
to
them had we gone.
Right.
I mean, I think it's pretty close to that.
A lot of distance traveled to just go home. So
that's just
in order
a normal
to make
drive for for Jeremy Swenson, though.
Yeah, Jeremy Swenson probably drove 30 hours.
Or for Eric
Jensen.
That's just a normal drive.
Yeah, that probably would have been about 30 hours for him too. It took me about 17 hours to get to. Yeah, probably about. It took me 15 to get out there and about 17 to get to him. So that's quite a ways. So in this hypothetical situation, yeah, your Grid Life team is frustrated with a certain racetrack. So yeah, it was fun. It was great, and then it started raining. As soon as this started happening, then it started raining. So, yeah, that's when the rain started. Exactly when it happened was when the rain started. So yeah, in this situation that didn't happen, I was sad and depressed and upset.
So in a situation like this, do you hypothetically go back?
I don't know. The rest of the track staff loved us. We got along with them great. It's a cool track, obviously.
Oh yeah.
The weather was trash, but I can see why almost everybody that spends a lot of time there says it's the best track on the planet. I can see it. But also, it's also one of the most unforgiving tracks on the planet.
Why are the walls like right there everywhere?
Dude, they are right there. Like they're right there.
The fast line on a lot of those and a lot of that track is putting your mirror against the wall.
Yeah, even the bus stop, like you screw up the bus stop a little bit and you can like hit the wall on both sides coming out of the bus stop.
Which was specifically designed to slow the vehicles down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was added because the track was too fast.
The bus stop is actually pretty fun, even in the wet, but like it's slippery in the wet. The paint is very slippery on the curbing and on the side of the tracks. But yeah, cool place, real cool place. The rest of the staff was really, really great. And if this hypothetical person in this hypothetical situation hadn't existed, I would absolutely love the track. And supposedly they won't exist next year. So we'll see.
Sounds like a rewritten
hypothetical.
Yeah, sounds like situation. A hypothetically rewritten contract.
Yeah, something. Things would be different in this dream world if we went back. And yeah, it's a very expensive place. It's a very dangerous place. But I can see why everybody loves it. The hype is definitely not unfounded, for sure. So
I can see that.
Wasn't this the only place we'd ever held a Formula One event?
No, because they did Long Beach years ago, and then they also did like this awful Caesar's Palace
parking lot.
So non-street course then. Or was this like one of the first ones, or maybe it was the first place we held a Formula One event in the U.S.
Like the. I mean, you guys have been to. Or
they did Indy.
Adam, you've been to COTA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did it in Indy too. Robbie, have you been to COTA or no?
Not yet.
He's a square.
Well,
like
up until a certain my whole plan revolved around. Well, I guess we can talk candidly.
Yeah.
All of my summer plans revolved around the NPO1 and Factory Fab Racing. And then
that didn't go.
Yeah. So Booney's actually taking a step back, and he's not racing this year, and probably has ended up going to sell the car. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually called me and was very worried about how it was going to go. And I was like, dude, you could have pulled the plug on this like 10 minutes after we got in the car. Still would have had bad feelings about this.
No.
Like, you owe me fucking nothing. Yeah, I cannot stress that enough. Everything about this was more than I ever could have asked for. So the fact that you don't want to or can't do it this year, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? I'm still your friend. You're stuck with me.
I kind of want to buy that truck too.
You're kind of going to have to. I think you have to.
I don't know that you have a choice.
He wants a lot of money for it because it's worth a lot of money. But it's
rad.
You do realize who would get the best price in the world on it, right? Besides me, of course. You.
He did offer me a friends and family discount, but he has not told me how much that is because I think I have to ask for it.
You do have to ask for it, yes.
Yeah. No, it's not given.
He told me what the listing price is going to be, and I was like, "Ouch! I can't buy that."
Yes, you can.
It's a cool truck, dude.
It's the so coolest.
It's so good.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, COTA. When you're up in the stands at COTA, or you're like down looking up at the stands off the hot pits and stuff.
Yeah.
This place is so much bigger than that.
Really? That's so crazy.
Like the grandstands are so enormous and they're everywhere. And it's just the scale of the place. It feels like Daytona, like in like scale. COTA doesn't feel that big because you can't, I mean, it's big, but like everywhere you go
see
in
that
COTA
much at a time.
it doesn't feel huge. Like everywhere you go here, it feels huge. I'm not sure quite why. Probably because you have these bigger sprawling views, you know? And it also feels so established. COTA feels kind of temporary and like new. This place feels like it's kind of like a Mid-Ohio if it were nice. Or
Mid-Ohio is
like,
still one of my favorite places.
I love being at Mid-Ohio.
It was just a fun vibe, and it was a really good spectator experience.
Yeah. Mid-Ohio is really fun to walk around, and it's a little bit more approachable than this place. This place is so big inside.
Yeah.
The first time I went across track to flag the GLTC race, green white checker out of the start box, you know, I made the mistake of running down under the tunnel and then back up, and that's like a mile and a half. It's so much bike riding, and most of it's uphill. It was terrible. So then I took the bridge. But I almost didn't make it the first time. The place is just so big, and it's like really 50 feet across the track or a mile and a half to get there under the tunnel. It's just like 3/4 of a mile or whatever. It's enormous. The place is so big.
There's a ton of elevation change too, isn't there?
Yeah, I think like 110 feet or something overall. It's wild. Place is wild. I would like to go back. I enjoyed a lot about it. Things could have gone better, especially in our hypothetical situation. But the entering from the town to get to the racetrack, which is kind of like up on this bluff, you know, feels like the town is kind of down low, and then there, like you take a left out of town. And it's probably 3 miles of like hard climb. My trans temps in my bus were like almost 300 degrees. I thought my trans was going to explode.
Did you have a trailer? Oh, you had the dyno.
I had the dyno.
I
had the dyno.
Okay.
But it was just like such a climb.
Right.
It instantly my trans temps climb on a climb like that. I got to put an external cooler on it. It's got an external cooler that is, it has coolant flow through it. So it's like a water to oil cooler. So it starts at like 180 and then instantly gets hot. I don't know. I think the trans temps are on the output of the trans. I think the actual temp gauge is, so it's reading the hottest of the coolant or the fluid. But
that's probably what you want.
Yeah, that climb was a slog, dude. We were down to like first gear going like 15, just straight up the hill there. And supposedly if you Google Maps how to get there and follow that, it's like a dirt road toge.
That's what I heard, dangerous. Is that it's like basically a rally course.
I've heard it's really dangerous, and Charlie almost totaled the Prevost in our black trailer.
Oh shit!
He came really close, and we sent out driver emails and put updates in. I think we sent out emails. We were supposed to put updates in all the Facebook groups and stuff to tell everybody don't go the way that Google Maps tells you to go. Go the way that's on the website. But it was supposedly really gnarly. I'm glad it did not go that way. But yeah, it was a thing. We did it. So jeez. I'm happy it's over. CMP was really fun. You guys should have came to CMP.
You need to stop going so far away.
Can't you do anything within 10 hours of us anymore?
CMP is farther away than Watkins Glen, I think.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It is. It's basically the same drive as going to Road Atlanta. It's like real similar. But
but can we go back to being Track Midwest? Like being within like 6 to 8 hours of Iowa was nice.
Yeah,
I like those. I like those times.
Even Track Mid East was better than.
We're doing Track Coast. I don't like it.
CMP was rad though.
It's 18 hours for us, according to Google, to CMP. It was only 15 according to Google to Watkins Glen.
That's a long way to go to like basically go to Gingerman in a different shape.
Yeah.
It's like the track feels just like Gingerman, but a different shape.
Is it weird that like
Correct.
most of the reason I wanted to go there was just to make Are You Faster Than a Redneck references that nobody would have gotten, because I love that show and at least once a year I watch it in its entirety on YouTube.
How many episodes did they film of that?
Not that many.
I think it was like 5 or 6.
I would say less than 10.
Yeah, I watched 1 or 2 of them, and they were so bad.
They're so bad. I love them so
They're
much.
so bad.
I always look at the guys, the muscle car drivers. Like they have a couple of these
Yep.
dudes that are like so yoked out they can't like put their arms down. You know what I mean? Like they're just like roid raged out,
yeah.
and I'm like, that guy cannot turn a steering wheel. Race him.
I mean,
Yeah. The guy that can't move his shoulders. Yeah.
He race him. He's not fast. Like you'll be fine. Use that. Pick that guy. I don't care what car he's driving.
Somebody
He
that
can't
was on it,
drive.
I think he had a. I think was there a dude with a Honda Civic?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
a turbo Honda Civic.
Yeah, there's a couple of cars there that like are people, now that I've watched it, they're people whose names I have recognition with.
Yeah, I think it was Todd Reed.
Yeah, through the grassroots community, I've
Yeah,
know who
he ended up. He started a team that rents out like I think Atlanta Speedworks, and they rent out like IMSA cars now. But
geez.
he still got that Civic too.
Jeez.
I
Yeah,
think
there's
that's
a
him.
there's a couple of them that are like, these cars are going to destroy you if you choose them.
Right.
Not redneck cars. Like you could tell there's some of these people are like, these are track day and like actual wheel to wheel racing guys, and they have very well set up cars. And then there's some of these that are like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, of course you're not going to do well.
Is that John Reap?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understand. Like I saw that. Like that's the comedian. I know that guy.
Yeah.
Didn't he
Okay.
win like the stand-up show?
Something like that. Because I remember watching his stand up. God, it's been 10 years ago. I bet.
They have, I don't remember what his name is, but they have some old famous racing announcer who sits in the booth next to him and just fucking hates his life, and it's hilarious. I
Seems like
love
a
it
good show.
so much.
Now I kind of want to watch it again. I think I've only seen one episode.
Oh, I love it.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch this.
It's so bad, Robbie.
But I like him. He's funny.
It's a train wreck.
The track is like they've improved it a lot from the last time I was there. Last time I was there was like 2011. They've repaved. They've like mowed down a bunch of field. They specifically cut down like a forest so that we could have parking. And it was like it was like truck ready. It wasn't quite car ready. So we ended up having to rent out the kart track completely just to park cars on. And it's a big kart track. It's like the size of the back 40 at Gingerman, like the campground area.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of cars on it. It was pretty full. That place was slamming. It was so fun. Like it was great vibes. And a lot of people that definitely spectated at Road Atlanta just made the trek up. A lot of camping. And it was just a really, really fun one. I really liked it a lot. There was a lot of hurdles that we needed to like jump over. It was early in the year. The team was all kind of like green. Everybody was turned off, and we had to be like switched on. You know, we had to, and we were also on like a skeleton crew. But I really enjoyed the event. That was I left that event thinking, all right, yeah, I'm kind of into this track. This was fun. I think that's going to be a staple. That track is great people to work with.
That's
I was
when
very
we
happy.
were at PRI, Chris Stewart said that was going to be the best event. Like that was the one he was most excited for.
Yeah, the owner and his son and his daughter-in-law, his son's wife, they are basically the main people in charge. And the owner is he's like a semi-retired business dude from Atlanta, I believe. Super good dude, like into cars and like into his track, like really into it.
Yeah.
And his son actually was drifting with us too. He was, and their whole team was great. They were great to work with. So I dug that event. That event was really, really fun. But it's also really going to be nice to just go home for a couple of events and like be in the Midwest for a while. Gingerman's kind of like home. I was just texting with the manager an hour ago about the schedule and about like which tow truck I wanted. And it's just like it's just kind of nice to just go back to your house. Gingerman's kind of like the house, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, I'm not even mad about Gingerman. Gingerman's still 8 hours, but like, I'll take it.
I'm pretty excited to just go home and just like, oh, I know how to do this. So, 2 brand new tracks in a row will wear me out, and we just did 2 brand new tracks in a row. So, yeah. And then what do we got after that? Autobahn Honda meet.
I forgot about Autobahn.
Yep, that's club weekend.
Yeah. Are you gonna have an enduro there?
No.
We've canceled NJMP and Gingerman Rev Up Enduro. There's still a chance for Autobahn, but probably going to make a big push for Heartland because Enduro market's a tough market to break into. I love the rule set. Like, I'm excited about it, but it's a tough market to break into. So,
well, I know multiple cars that are planning to be at the Heartland one. So
I'm still surprised that like there's not as much take rate from the GLTC cars as I thought there would be. I mean, maybe I don't realize just how much more prep they need, or like how time attacky some of these guys have built their cars because they can't run sessions.
So like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
I think largely it's just a matter of the GLTC crowd. Like, they're just busy. Like, they're all. They're already booked up and planning on XYZ, and they don't want to do anything else. So, end of the year last year at Pit Race, we had like half a dozen GLTC cars, and they did fine. They enjoyed it, but a bunch of them packed it in after half an hour. They would do the half hour of the enduro. So it was practice, qualify, sprint race, and then enduro, and then sprint race and enduro. So. Yeah, they were there for the sprint races and practice and qualifying, and then they did part of the enduro, and that was it. So, I mean, I did the same thing. I didn't do the enduros in my car, but largely because the car broke before each enduro, just a little bit. Like, the exhaust fell off, and like before the first enduro, I put the wheel on, but the rotor was hung up on the hub lip, and like I would roll 4 feet, and the brakes would go to the floor, and then I could pump them back up, but because the rotor was like crooked. And yeah, it was just kicking the pads back. And I found that out on the way to grid for the first enduro.
It's just because you're such a terrible mechanic.
I am. I mean, I'm not the best, but like anybody could have that problem, I suppose. I fixed it by taking the wheel off and putting the wheel back on. So at least it was an easy fix.
If you just paid somebody else to do it, you wouldn't have all these problems.
That's true, man. A couple $1,000 a weekend, I bet I could make
it's really not a big
Fields deal. Or somebody similar to it.
Yeah, it's really not a big deal. It's only money. Just work more.
Shit.
I don't know if I could actually do that. I really don't know if I can work more. I think it might be impossible.
I'm trying to channel my inner Abe here. Just pay somebody else to do it. It's really not that hard. You just sit in your bus and make bougie food. Put anchovy juice in your pizza sauce and
I have
stuff
yet
like
to do that yet.
He and I are very different people.
Yeah, and I'm more you than I am Abe, for sure.
We still should have started that construction podcast 5 years ago.
I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree that we would slay a construction podcast.
We probably should have done it, dude.
It's not too late, guys.
Like, I feel like, tool companies would throw shit at a podcast.
Oh, man. Can you imagine the stack of Milwaukee and DeWalt stuff we'd have?
Yeah, and you have a built-in listenership.
A little bit, at least. I bet we could get half of both of our audiences.
Well, but what I'm saying is, like, the construction guys have time to listen to podcasts.
Oh, yeah, because they're swinging hammers and they need to put earbuds in anyway.
Yeah, most of them are, or like you've got transit times to different jobs and stuff like that. And, an office setting is usually a little harder to listen to a podcast.
Right now, I'm listening to a book on like an audible book.
Yeah.
About how corrupt the CIA is.
Nice.
Because that's what I do during the day.
Nice.
Listen to podcasts and listen to books.
I've been listening to Star Wars books. A lot of Star Wars books. because I'm a
All right.
nerd.
Hey, man, whatever gets you through the day, baby.
So
Did you have you started your Omni in the past 3 years? I can't recall.
3 years? No, it's been way more than that.
Has it been that long?
Let's see. My kid is 7, and I think the last time it ran, he was probably 2-ish.
Okay.
You were driving it.
I drove it for a very
regularly
short
that
period of
summer.
time. Well, for a little while there, it was my only form of transportation.
I was thinking about it because in the latest Grassroots magazine, they talk about all kinds of cars from the 80s and 90s, you know.
Yeah.
And they had a little blurb about the Omni, and I was like, I wonder when the last time he drove that was.
It's been way too long, and I actually I've found myself thinking about driving it a lot more lately. Just even if I was just running around with it.
When you guys started the podcast, was Logan born or no?
No.
Logan was born. So our first show came out January 31st, and my son was born March 15th. So
Okay.
a month and a half.
Yep, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
We've been doing podcasts too long.
Yeah.
I remember the job I was at when I listened to your first 3 podcasts.
Nice.
I don't know why. Don't know why I remember that. But I remember that.
Well, I do remember you listened multiple in a row, and then we're messaging Adam about it.
I remember how
Yeah.
I found Slip Angle, and that was through the Grassroots Motorsports podcast, which you guys are
Right.
credited for killing.
Yeah, what happened to that podcast? JG was doing a great job, and then all of a sudden we were
Great
on
job.
the
That was how I got into car podcasts, was listening to the GRM podcast.
Yeah.
And then you and Austin guested on it, and then there was 1 or 2 more after that, and then it was over. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to listen to Slip Angle now instead.
Yeah, we offered we talked with them a bunch of times about just being the Grassroots podcast, and
Right.
they were like, yeah, we should probably do that, and then we just never did that.
It makes sense.
I had Tom Sutter on the show 6 hours ago at lunch, actually, or
Nice.
8 hours ago at lunch. So I've been recording with One Lap of America buddies,
Cool.
and he's doing One Lap of America with Andy Hollis in a Golf GTI. I think it's Tom's
Oh,
daily
really?
driver.
I did not
So-
know that.
McLaren didn't make it.
Yeah.
The McLaren didn't make it. You don't say.
No.
Do
Interesting.
you want to hear why it didn't?
What sort of epic and insane but stupid
it's
failure?
It's unbelievable.
Is it
dude,
that bad?
It's bad.
Yeah.
Because I assume you're still in the groups.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah. So let's hear it. I want to know. I got to know.
So the alternator on those, I guess, is driven like a starter. It's like a gear drive alternator.
Okay.
And the alternator failed, and the engine needs to be replaced.
What? No.
Yeah. So
Why?
So the alternator failed last year, I think, and got swapped. And then everything was fine. Did a bunch of track events, and then it failed again. But it failed by the bolts backed out on it, and it was loose. And I guess it pounded the engine block so bad that they can't bolt an alternator to it anymore, and so they need to change the engine block.
Wow.
Because that's what happens on McLarens.
I would just give up on that car. Here a few episodes ago, I professed my undying love and desire to own a bunch of absurd McLarens. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I could keep
that's-
doing it if I was Andy.
That'd be so frustrating.
Well, this is under warranty too. They're right now the dealership and the extended warranty are fighting about who gets to pay the $90,000 bill. Because the only way you can get a McLaren engine, I guess, is dressed, wiring harness, top to bottom, new turbos, everything. So
Yikes.
you just get that, and that's what it costs. It costs 4 Iowa man houses.
If not more.
Yeah, I think the average is right around 22. He said, or 15.
Yeah,
something
or whatever.
silly.
But you got to remember, that's across 9 houses, and one of those was 40. So that really pulled the average up.
How many of those were 8?
Most.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 720s. That's fun to live with.
But it doesn't seem like. I mean, maybe I just don't see it, but like Jason Canacre doesn't seem to have as many problems.
You turn behind you and you knock on that wood, dude. You knock on that wood. Whatever. Whatever's wood around you.
Yeah, I've messaged with him more than I ever thought possible.
Yeah.
Like we message regularly.
On the rare occasion,
he's got an Omni.
I
too.
know. On the rare occasion that I open my Instagram account, I usually have a private message from him about him putting his Omni back together.
Yeah,
Yep.
And I'm like obscenely excited about it. I just don't open Instagram often enough.
I think he's taking the Omni to rev up.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
Let me check.
He said if the engine's in like one piece and everything is good, he's taking it. So, I don't know if I told you guys this, but at SEMA last year, I'm just standing in the booth, and like two random people, like this couple walks up, and they're probably like 45 or 50, and they're like, "Hey, I know what you guys do," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And they're like, "We do rallies, and the guy who organizes the rally says you're the best thing ever." And he drives at your events. And I was like, "Oh, Jason?" And they're like, "Yeah, we follow him all over the country. He's the best." It's like even his people love him, man. So good job, Jason. He's the coolest. He's selling his RV on TrackTune on the forum right now.
Oh, there you go. Look at that, Robbie.
Who is he now?
Robbie.
Yeah.
We were literally just talking earlier about Robbie's RV. Plans, hopes, dreams.
There's no plans, just so we're clear. Well,
Well,
I suppose a good plan would be Jabay buys.
I was gonna say there's a deal there's a 3-way deal to be made here.
Yes, Jabay buys Booney's lorry, and then Jabay needs to get rid of one.
Yeah,
and Robbie needs to buy one.
So when Jabay comes to get Lori, he can just bring the bus.
No. Here's how this works. Booney will drive me and my GLTC car to Road America with Lori.
Ooh, I see where this is going. Yes, I like this.
And then
continue.
Booney will not drive Lori home because Lori will be going with Jabay.
Jadam Abaay.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
What's the bed situation like in the box of that thing? It's like bunks.
Like 6 bunks, yeah.
Your wife will not be into it.
Well, I mean, it would have to be remodeled into a house.
You prefer those types of projects, yes.
I mean, that would be like the way to do it, though.
That'd
like
be
a
so
big old,
dope.
strong house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a lot.
Does it have? It has a sleeper cab though.
Yep.
So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
Problem
that's
is
where the girl sleeps.
Yep.
So, Robbie was looking at one this week on Marketplace that whoever has it took all the water out of, which is kind of the perfect track rat RV situation. Because
no sink, no bathroom, just an oven and what else do they have?
ovens, beds, heat, and air. That's all you need.
That's all they had, yeah.
That's all you need in life when you just take it to the racetrack.
Yeah, that would be good for most of my uses, but I got to put a nice bathroom in. I got to do other things. So
it is nice to have your own bathroom because track bathrooms are usually really gross.
Yep, that's how you get trench foot.
Yeah.
But
Abe's yelling at me about audio right now. Hold, please.
That's because that's all he does is yell at you.
Yeah.
It's an abusive relationship that you and Abe have.
Yeah, it's true. Let's see.
Is he mad because your one lap audios aren't good enough?
He only interviewed me one time on one lap.
That's because
he
you're not there for the reason
because he hates me.
You're not there for the reason he wanted you to be there.
Oh yeah, because I cared about the transits and I really didn't give a shit about the track time.
Yeah, you were there for like the lore of the cannonball and stuff like that.
I was,
and he just wants people to go fast and
getting to do new tracks was great. But if Bill would have came to me earlier that summer and been like, "Here's our options: we can do one lap, or we can go and try to break the cannonball record." It wouldn't even have been a conversation. There's no fucking way I would have gone on one lap. No joke. I'm not kidding in any way, shape, or form.
Dude, the level of anxiety that even thinking about that gives me cannot be described.
When he was writing his review, like did you go through and read he did like a day by day synopsis like after the fact and wrote like an article basically.
Yeah.
And like he basically talked about how on the first day he had to kind of tell me to dial it back, but in the back of his mind he told himself, if I ever do a cannonball run, I already know who my driver's going to be. or my co-driver.
Bill's lead foot is legendary in certain circles, and so if he told you that you needed to calm down a little bit,
maybe we don't need that much attention, is what he said.
You weren't going slow.
Like, how fast were you averaging?
At that point, my goal was to be the first person in Memphis, which we were by a lot.
So you're going like 110 the entire way, or what?
Oh yeah,
hypothetically.
Oh yeah,
hypothetically, I think when he finally told.
Oh yeah, he said.
I think when he finally told me maybe we should cool it was when I'd been averaging like 130 for a while.
In a bright blue C8
oh my gosh.
Corvette.
It was like nobody on the road, man. It was just like we were
bright blue.
Hypothetically,
like,
there was
eye-searing blue C8 Corvette when they just came out, and there were like 12 of them on the road.
With stickers and race car vibes
covered in
and
stickers.
But
couldn't be more conspicuous if you tried.
From Grissom Air Force Base to Memphis, there's like no one on that road. Just so we're clear, like that is like a wide open shot. But yeah,
what did you have radar detector wise and stuff?
we had Waze, and then we had his laser jammer system and a Valentine 1. That was it.
That's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, lasers are great, but most people don't use lasers. But yeah,
dude, it stresses me out thinking of doing that.
Right?
That doesn't even sound
right.
Yeah, like when I go over 80, I'm like, what am I doing?
Well, the problem is you're doing it without protection.
Yeah,
you need like if you're gonna do it, you have to have Waze on, and you have to have
a radar detector. Paranoid. I just
you also
makes
have
me
to be
so uncomfortable thinking about breaking the law in such manner, Robbie.
You have to be in that mindset, and
that mindset doesn't exist in my mind.
It did for 1 week. Like in any normal driving situation, never. But it's like get it going on into GLTC and be like, put my helmet on. I am here to fucking race now. Got into the Corvette. We're going on a transit. I am here to race now. So yeah,
really uncomfortable.
No, the idea of breaking the Cannonball record has festered in my mind since at least 2006, like seared. I know Alex Roy's book cover to cover, like word for word, because I want to fucking do it. More than I could ever explain.
Huh.
I met Arnie Toman. I think that's his name, right? That's the dude who had it for a while.
Yeah.
I met him at a Cars and Coffee last year. I got his.
Oh no!
We lost him again.
Again?
About a half hour.
Tio.
Yep. Are we gonna try to fix it again?
I don't know. Should we?
I don't care. I can edit it.
Well, sorry about my end of the line internet. I'm at the end of the stream.
That's not how it works.
It's just a dribble down here, dude.
I get so annoyed every time you bring up your fucking internet. It's not how it works.
Well, then how come I'm trying both of them?
That was a bullshit line fed to you by some tech because their system is garbage, is what that was.
Yeah,
Mr.
the old phone line
Jadam
system
Abaay.
is trash. The old phone line system we have here is trash.
That's going to be a terrible, terrible, terrible intro. It's fine. Just leave it.
Currently I'm on the 5G Verizon box that I just got.
Uh-huh.
So
my boss uses one of those, but T-Mobile, and it seems to work really well for him.
It seems way faster, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Internet.
We've never had this problem before,
That's true.
But now we got 3 episodes out of you, so it works out.
That's three full slip.
Definitely
that's three slip
slip
angles for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
guys need to know how to play your game. You're not playing the game right.
I disagree because we put out, instead of putting out 2 half-hour shows a week, we put out 1 2-hour show every other week. It's fine.
It's all the same.
It's really the same amount of content.
We generally are more than half an hour. Come on. We do a lot of 1.5 hour shows.
Here lately, you guys have been
it's closer to an hour.
Taking up a little bit, yeah.
Because even track walking is like consistently over an hour now.
I know. Scope creep is real. I'm just saying.
Starting to ramble. And now Abe is texting me that Abe's yelling at me that I need to get a new SD card because there's some feedback in one of the latest shows. Damn it.
That's because you spilled water on it in CMP.
No, that was
That's
a
true.
totally different thing. I wasn't. That's the stuff that lives with Abe, not my stuff.
It's true. I did have to stop listening to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I shut that one off. Yeah,
And it
Yeah,
was
that
sad
sucked.
because it was really fun to listen to.
it was a good episode.
Yeah, Greg was great to deal with.
He is great to deal with.
Yeah, I like that dude
The
a lot.
nicest guy.
Yep. So anyway, I don't remember what we were talking about,
don't
but
You're meeting the Cannonball record holder at Cards and
yeah.
Coffee or something.
oh yeah, do you want to do a show with him? Because if you're really into Cannonball stuff, I would love to hear you talk to him.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I reached out to Ed Bullion once and he didn't get back to me, but I did bump into him at AMP during one lap.
Okay.
He didn't know who I was, but I bumped into him.
I've got this dude's cell phone number. So
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Look at you.
if you want to talk, I can set it up. So
Yeah, I'd be down. I mean,
yeah,
I think
I
we
don't
have
know
to.
anything about Cannonball things. I'm not like into it.
Dude, I was way into it. Like getting Alex Roy on the show when we did was like,
I thought that was a big deal for Michael. I
And
guess I
myself.
don't realize how big. I didn't realize how big a deal it was for you. I guess.
yeah, it was huge deal.
Huh.
Like when we did that, I was like, man, we might fucking do something with this show, and we didn't. But we got. But at the time, I was like, man, we really came out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have like a one of them Morgan three wheelers too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
done a cannonball with it, which sounds
Oh my
miserable.
gosh.
Unbelievably terrible.
I think he did it in reverse. I think he did it from Cali to New York with that one.
Yeah,
if I
he
remember
did a
right.
bunch of different ones because he did like
Yeah, he holds
Seattle
the
to,
EV
New York,
record
to Miami
too.
or whatever.
Yeah, he's done Seattle to Miami as well. He's got the EV record right now,
Yep.
or last I knew anyway.
Yeah, because
I don't get it. I don't
they-
get it.
I don't really get it either.
I get it.
I'm with Jadam Abaay.
I get it, man.
Well, I'm glad that I'm not way off base because sometimes I feel like I'm starting to get old and I'm way off base.
Well, I mean, I'm an old human being. Like, I'm an old soul. So if you're using me as like your compass as to whether or not you've gotten old, you're not going the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe time has passed us all by. I
It's
don't know.
fine.
We need to leave this to the likes of the Robbie
I
generation.
mean, you guys are like the hottest thing in motorsports right now, so you're doing something right.
Very much.
I don't know. I think it's just accidental.
You're going to have the biggest race group at Road America at somebody
That is-
else's event.
That is going to be cool.
What's the total count at?
I think we're just over 60.
God damn, that's a big field.
It's a big track too, man.
It's a big track, yeah.
Just
Big
need everybody.
track.
To,
What
just
is
need
it?
everybody to drive better than the
Is
last
it
time we were
50
there.
What is your limit? 25 cars a mile?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we could have 100 there. If we
Oh,
wanted
so
to.
you're good to go.
it's fine.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, no, we cut it off at 60. I think if we have a
75,
couple of staffers, I think it's 62 right now. So
No, I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be good.
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of cars.
I've done so much prep. So if my car's, I've already told Adam if my car's slower than it was last year, I'm fucking quitting. I'm done.
I don't even
We're
know
just
what
going
color
efficient.
your car is because I'm seeing mixed colors in the group chat. So
Blue, green. It could be.
I
anything.
have seen it with my own eyes. It is blue.
it is blue. Okay,
It is blue.
that green could look pretty good.
Dusty's
I know.
pretty good at Photoshop, but I don't think he can Photoshop my own eyes.
Okay,
So
you might be able to.
unless Robbie like rewraps it before Midwest.
Oh, God, no.
It's blue.
That's also a thing.
No,
So-
absolutely not.
Did you buy wrap that's not like not single batch Chinese wrap that you can't get a replacement of?
It's the next level better than that. But yes,
Okay. I remember you telling a story about how they couldn't get the wrap again.
oh yeah, I have like an entire roll of what's supposed to be the same color as my 240. That's not the same color. Like, not even
that
close.
sucks. Yeah, that's no fun.
No, this stuff I've ordered a couple different times, and it's
Okay.
always been the same color, so that works out.
How good at wrapping are you getting?
If it was good wrap, I'd be pretty good at it. I'm using thick, like metallic, cheap vinyls, like it's going on a race car because who cares? So,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to put $3,000 in vinyl only to have it get destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so like the good stuff is so expensive. It's like
Yep.
it's like more than a race car paint job.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the $3,000 vinyl just puts itself on basically, whereas the $300 vinyl you fight.
Yeah, when I watch, like, you get like I'll get a random Facebook reel that's somebody wrapping a car, and I was like, it's not really that easy. because they're wrapping like McLarens and Lambos.
Yeah, just like
shit.
slapping
just
it on
like,
there and just falls in place.
Yeah, they just like drop it on there and then peel it up and hit it with a squeegee and stuff. And I was like, nope, that's not what I've done.
No.
That's not how it works in the real world.
No, because if you have to fight contours like on bumpers and stuff, it's really challenging.
Yeah,
especially when the vinyl's thick and not super forgiving.
right.
Or when you get it and then it kind of has like a tiger stripe in it, and then you pull it off and fucking throw the whole thing away and start over. Been there.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, even if it's green. I don't know what color it is.
This is blue for now. Could be green.
Oh, damn it.
So I have a question because I want to know. So
I thought I lost you for a second, but I didn't.
Oh, you still there? No, we hear you.
Yep, we're good.
So, okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Lime Rock this year.
So nervous.
Lime Rock this year. Is it going to be the same concept?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the same circuit legends and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
So
there won't be any DE.
Okay.
There will probably be A main, B main of GLTC.
Oh.
Ooh. I know how not into that you were.
Well, I'm not into that in a regular event, but this track, like you can't put 40 cars on this track. It's too much.
No, it was more lappage than any other GLTC event we've ever had.
Well, like when you think about turn 1, 2, and 3, like they call them other things, but it's weird that they name the turns instead of have numbers. But the first 3 turns, like you can't go through those. Like if you're the first 3 cars, single file, they're going so much faster, and you got half a track on the middle of the field, like in lap 1.
Right.
It's insane.
Right.
Because they're so tight, they snake so hard. Like I was like in P20 something, and I was going through turn 1 and 2 at like 12 miles an hour, just trying not to hit anybody. And then you spread out a little bit, and you can get some pace, and like O'Gorman and Andy and Swenson are like over the hill already. It's wild how fast that track actually is. So
is there going to be a curated list again?
Of show cars and stuff, or what?
Well, for like the Circuit Legends part.
Oh yes, yeah. I forgot all about that. So
do you have a list?
I don't have a list.
I know you can't announce it on the show. I
have like 3 or 4 cars that I want to have on there. Last year, me and Chris both did it, and I'm not positive of what all I want on there, but
we're losing him.
Oh yeah, we are
definitely different cars than last year. I would love to feature a drift car. How about now? I still see you're moving. You're moving.
No, we hear you.
Yeah,
it just bounces in and out a lot.
Like you said, it's on your end.
You're robotic.
Yeah, it definitely is on my end. So. Am I back now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
If it happens again, I'm just going to do this on my cell phone.
No, we can just wrap it up at that point.
Fine.
Son of a bitch.
It's fine. No, I just wanted to know because, like, I was wondering if you guys had put any effort into or any thought into who's going to be there this year, and if it was going to be any easier to get some of the stuff that I think you tried for but were not successful with last year. Now that there's a buzz around the event.
Oh.
Are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm ruining your podcast.
That's fine.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I ruin everything.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
This is the most audio files I've had to string together ever, so we got that going for me.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, at least I'll never have to do your podcast again because you will refuse.
Wrong.
We should do it in person. That's the problem. With like a drunk Dalton in the background doing like a belly flop into a hot tub.
Then I have to do a podcast at events. And
We have to go to events.
God, that's awful. I'll be at events.
We haven't gone to an event yet.
I have spent all year preparing to go to events.
Well, at Road America, we'll have a lot of time because there's only like 2 hours a day of grid life. So.
Oh, there you go.
I'm exceedingly excited for
You can come by and have some of Booney's awesome cooking.
I'm into that.
And then check out the lawyer.
Yeah, I'm excited about that event. That's the one I'm really excited about.
Yeah, that one's gonna be good.
But Lime Rock, yeah, it'll be largely like hopefully a bigger, funner version of last year. So.
There's one car whose owner was there last year that if it was there, I might actually make the trip. Say it.
Okay.
It's a certain time attack car.
Oh, yeah, I know about it. I don't think he's the owner. I think he's the caretaker.
Is he the curator of it?
Yeah, he...
Okay.
So
well, it's in his possession,
year.
And I know you tried last year, and they said it wasn't ready or something like that.
Yeah.
And
it's a thing that I really want to see there.
If that shows up, that might be the only car that would like get me to change my mind.
Yeah. The Sierra Evo.
The Sierra Evo. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think last year it felt really special, and the vibe felt like more right than I ever thought it could. And I just want that to happen again. And I want there to be I want the entire place to be campground, like the whole upstairs infield of it. I want it to be all campground. It was like probably half. But yeah, I really want it to just be a lot of campground, a lot of people hanging out and having the best weekend ever. So,
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
No.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz about it this year. Or last year, I mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I want to do it again. That's the one I'm really excited about as well. That and Road America. So,
Road America and Laguna Seca.
I'm nervous about Laguna, but it's a long way from now.
I don't know how, but I'm going to be there.
We got time. We'll figure it out. So
I don't know how, but I'll be there.
Well, maybe I need to pick you up in Iowa, and then we cannonball straight through.
That's probably what's going to end up happening is that somebody's going to pick me up here in Iowa, and then we're going to cannonball straight through.
I don't think I can take my RV over the Rockies. I'm going to take a
bunch of time off that my boss is not going to be happy about, and I don't care.
Maybe I'll get my brother to fly everybody out in like a rented 4-seater or 6-seater. That'd be great, but probably too much money. I hate airlines so much. I hate airliners a lot.
Yeah. Part of me really wants to drive because it's part of the country. I've never been west of Colorado Springs, I guess.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I think that's farther west than Denver by a bit. So that's probably the farthest west I've ever been is Colorado Springs.
Yeah. And
so I would really like to experience that part. And I hate flying into a place like that.
Yeah. It's I've only flown into San Francisco, but we drove around it for 4 days, me and my wife.
Right.
And even just the immediate area is pretty rad. Like there's some great roads, obviously, some of the best in the world, probably. So.
Well, it's not even that. I just want to see it. I just want to. Yeah. I hate flying because I don't get to experience. For me, it's as much the trip as it is the destination.
My wife is always
Robbie
like,
just wants to get there as fast as he
country.
fucking can. Just
not always,
and then stop, and then be where he is, and then jet back home.
That's not true. But I'm sick of doing the cannonball there, thrash for the whole trip, and then drive back. I'm actually getting burned out on that.
I'm with you.
I want a fucking vacation.
That's the hardest part is the trying to take as little time off as possible and
be back by Sunday night. Yeah, no, it sucks.
Yeah, that's how you end up with your car upside down on the trailer in the ditch.
Yep, scary.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No,
not
for anybody.
My wife always gets jealous that I see the whole country. She says, and I think all I see is gas stations.
That's gas stations and racetracks. Yeah.
Well, it's like. Yeah. I tell people like, oh yeah, I'm going to Colorado. Like, oh, that'll be fun for you. Like, yeah, I'm going straight to the racetrack and I'm not leaving it until the event's over. And then I'm going to get in a truck and jet home as fast as I can. So like, it doesn't matter where in the country it is. I didn't experience any of whatever that area had to offer.
No, it was only an inconvenience.
Yeah. Like, it would be better if it was 10 miles outside of Des Moines and I would experience exactly the same amount of the area around it as I did in Colorado.
Yeah. The most memorable part of like any Colorado trip for me was when like a truck rolled over and blocked the whole highway and threw giant chunks of metal all over the highway right after we dropped you off.
I was going to say, that was in Iowa.
Yeah, it was like right after we dropped you off.
Yep.
Like 45 minutes later. Yeah. And then we pulled the dude. Almost lost you. Adam's froze for a second.
Almost.
Yep. I'm so nervous.
No, you're good. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we pulled the dude out of that truck, and he had a pack of cigarettes that was a gallon Ziploc bag full of cigarettes.
It's so weird.
And a flip phone. And we were like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Dude, what the fuck, man?" He was bleeding.
We're gonna have to
We
wrap
pulled
this
him out
up.
through the windshield. It was weird.
Yeah.
I ruined your podcast.
No, it's great.
This is perfect.
We really appreciate you coming on. It's been a while.
It's been a couple of years. Yeah,
Yeah.
Long
like you're
overdue.
busy or something.
Yeah.
So
I got to figure out my internet. I got to figure it out.
it's fine. So
It's terrible.
go to forum.tracktune.com. Join the forum. We'll probably not be there, Robbie and I, but Jabay will probably be there.
Lame.
I'll eventually be there.
I mean, I might go make an account, but I definitely will not be a regular user.
Well, had that existed like 3 weeks ago, I probably would have posted my Mark 60 build just step-by-step guide there versus on tracktune.com
It's fun. It needs to be on tracktune.com.
in the tech section.
So, and go to grid.life for all your grid life needs.
Yeah, and your hypothetical needs.
Yeah.
We'll hypothetically be there.
Yeah.
Well, sorry about all the tech issues.
No,
I'm
it's
bad
fun.
at this.
That's part of the Jabay experience.
It's so stupid. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, buds.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see you later, man.
All right, catch everybody else
Adios.
next week.